I'm Lee.
And I'm Nick.
And we are the Lodge Guys.
If you're new around here, we're currently on a road trip travelling around Europe in our trusty camper van Taylor, who we converted from a decorator's van to a mobile home on wheels last year.
Come with us on our travels this summer by clicking the subscribe button below.
Hi guys, welcome to the next vlog. Today's a bit of a special vlog. We're going to be taking you guys on a journey to something called, do you know how to pronounce it?
Cinque Terre.
No.
Cinque Terre.
Cinque Terre, which is actually roughly translates to the five lands. It's five villages set on different climates on the in the Italian Riviera area of LaGuardia, I think it is the region's called. We're going to be showing you guys all the five towns. We're going to be travelling by train, hopefully, and we're staying just outside of the main areas in a place called Lavanto, in a campsite there. So join us on today's vlog and we'll take you on our trip.
Good morning, here's breakfast. Come and get your tea. Get your tea. Welcome back to an extremely hot, warm and humid Italy. We've been here for a couple of days, just been catching up on things, and we're now about to head off to our next stop. Another campsite where we are going to be exploring Cinque Terre. Probably said that wrong. It's five beautiful Italian villages that a lot of you guys messages about and said you cannot miss them. They look absolutely stunning, and we can get to each one via a train. So we're going to say goodbye to this lovely site where we've been for the last 2 days and head off to our next destination. I'm just trying to get into any kind of shade that there is. I actually think today is the hottest it's been so far. It's only about 9:30 in the morning and we're just literally dripping with sweat.
Can't even get my top on because I'm dripping that much.
Maybe we need to buy some vests.
Neck fans. Actually, we won't need it when
we're going in the, thankfully the cabin has aircon and it's very good aircon. So we've just got to go pay the guy for this site and then head on our way. Right, we're on our way. Just wanted to show you the town of Imperia. Look at those. No, we never saw that because we just had a couple of catch-up days. We saw the local town to the site, but we didn't come all the way down into Imperia. It looks like something off like
Lord of the Rings.
No, like, you know, like when you see films with Greek gods in and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like Zeus and stuff like that with that little
it reminds me of
thing there. Yeah. 310.
Oh, Christ.
Oh, we thought we just had another one of those moments where we weren't going to get through this place. Lots of graffiti in Italy. That's what we need for the back of Taylor. A little Fiat car like that. Is it Fiat? I don't know.
It's like a Beetle to me.
It's like a little toy car. Be perfect on back of Taylor. And they've also got a motorbike as well. IKEA. Stop off and get some meatballs.
I know. Just thinking the same.
Friggin' hell, look at this.
The road is actually held up by a couple of stilts.
Wow.
I don't like these, like, viaduct bridgey type things.
So far, driving in Italy is a completely different experience.
It's all tunnels. It's literally all tunnels. 90% of the driving has been inside a tunnel.
So we've just pulled up at a service station which looks quite good. It's got My Chef. I wonder if it's like Little Chef.
Well, let's go and have a look.
Ooh, a focaccia. Lots of nice Italian breads and sandwiches and stuff.
So I'm picking then, yeah?
Yeah, you pick something like that. Like that. Like ham sandwich or something. So it's nothing like Little Chef, but it's pretty decent. Wow, I'm loving the coffees in Italy already. Cafe latte. And what did you go for?
Sublime.
Sublime?
Yeah.
So
it was very difficult to order. She just kept saying to me, ticket. And I'm like, yeah, I want to order.
You need to learn some Italian?
Well, yeah, but she needs to learn a bit of English.
You should have just said...
Ticket means nothing.
Caramello.
Well, yeah, at least I got some.
Just looking at the pasta in this service station, we're not quite sure what this shape is supposed to be.
Love arts, phalluses, Fallaces.
We're in Italy, aren't we?
We'll message Lisa, she'll know.
So we haven't got anywhere booked again on this one, but as we said in previous vlogs, it's not quite as easy as in Italy as it was in France. France, motorhome camping and car parks and stuff are just everywhere, and you can basically get in any way you want. But Italy's not quite as easy, and it's a lot more expensive.
And you can't book online.
Yeah, you can't book online. You just got to turn up or like email them, and it says they'll get back to you within like a few days, which is obviously not good for us as we just want to do it as and when we get around to it. So we've emailed 3. We got a reply from one saying they're fully booked. I mean, it is July now as well, so it's getting to the kids' holiday, so obviously that's not going to help either for spaces and stuff. So we're heading to a second one. We're only 11 minutes away, and we'll just see if they have got any spaces when we get there. If not, we'll have to go on to our third option.
We don't have a reservation. Do you have any space for 2 nights?
How long is your van?
6.5 metres.
We got in, they had a couple of spaces free, so we've got this one next to some trees and bushes, got all the chairs and tables out, and now we're just going to go orientate ourselves with this town. We need some things from the supermarket. We're going to go into Cinque Terre tomorrow and explore those little villages. How very Italian. The bells are ringing for us. Right, so we're just heading into town, as I said, just to check out this place. Hopefully there's a supermarket, we can get some bits and bats that we need. And where actually are we, Nick? Because I haven't said.
It's a place called Levanto, or Lavanto, depending on how we pronounce it. There was only 4 campsites available. One of them, as Lee said earlier on in the vlog, we'd emailed and they said there was no reservation. So we turned up at one called Camping Alberto Doro, and we asked, and she said she had 2 spaces free. So we've just packed up, unpacked, and we're just exploring the local town.
And we've made it to the beachfront after lots of zigging and zagging.
Drink?
I do need something to drink, to be fair.
The Piper's Hut. The Piper's Bar.
Let's go check it out, just there. Look what I've got without realising. One of those
like a big
lollipops with the licorice as a holding stick.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know what I got. It looked like a cheap Magnum, but... So the reason why we chose where we're staying in the campsite tonight is because it's not part of the Cinque Terre. Is that right?
Cinque Terre, that's what I said.
Cinque Terre 5 lands. It's 2 towns either side of it that has a train line that connects, but it also goes through the 5 lands. It's very hard to get hotel reservations and campsites in the 5 lands, so we've stayed in the northern side of it, called Levanto. There is another place that you can stay on the south side of Cinque Terre called Lavanto, but we chose the north side, mainly because the campsite is about 500 meters from the train line, which actually runs from Lavanto through to Lavanto and passes through the 5 lands. So each stop tomorrow when we get on it, which is today's vlog for you, will take about 8 minutes between the 2 different places, and we'll give you a lot of information about the 5 lands as we get there.
So as Nick was saying, Levanto is commonly known as the gateway to Cinque Terre. And this place is steeped in history which dates back to the 13th century. And you can just kind of tell that by like the buildings and stuff over there. Like that church, you see that everywhere in Italy, those kind of churches. But I quite like that one.
So if you do visit Lavanto and it's between July the 23rd and the 25th, they have a fabulous festival here, which I will try and pronounce, but I will probably fail miserably. It is called the Festa di San Giacomo.
And another thing you need to know if you visited in July like we are, is that it's 6:30 on a night and it's 31 degrees, but probably feels like about 37. And in the van, it's probably about 42. Nick's in the kitchen. Some focaccia breads toasting in the oven.
I've added some pomodoro sauce,
some chicken,
some pesto, some parmesan, and some oregano.
It's going to be like a chicken pizza on a focaccia bread.
Yes, kind of. Just whip this together.
Yes, you have. Very nice.
So it's focaccia bread, parmesan, some pomodoro sauce, some pesto, cheese, and then we've just got a bit of flies. A bit of flies. Cajun chicken. Right, we'll eat it.
It's the next day and we are heading for that train to go into Cinque Terre. Here we are at the station, the train station.
Which Google actually told us to go to a local hospital.
Yeah, don't use Google to get us here. Right, we made the train. Yes, we're sweating messes because it's absolutely baking. It's 9 AM on a morning.
We had a bit of a drama. We had to run back to the van because yesterday when we checked in, she never gave me driving licence back.
And we had to show the driving licence to get us tickets.
Yes.
So Nick was like, oops. So we had to run back. I got changed because I put a shirt on, stupidly thinking it was going to be cooler today. It's not, it's baking.
So the ticket cost, despite what it says on the internet, is not 16 or 8 euros. It's actually 32.50 each. We found out since that the reason why it costs so much is because it's seasonal, so it can cost anything as low as sort of 16 euros right up to 33 euros.
Obviously we're in peak season, so we pay up 32 euros. But this ticket gets us to all the 5 towns and the one at the end.
Lesbia.
And we can go back and forward all day as much as we want.
Yeah. Right, literally 8 minutes. We've not even had a chance to cool down yet and we're already arriving.
Look at the view straight out of the first train station. Wow.
Actually, train station to barrier.
And there's the beach. So this town is the only one with a beach. Small beach, but it's got a beach.
Oh, it's crystal blue waters. Look at
Beautiful blue waters. People in it already enjoying it. Not gonna lie, I could just get in that right now.
I think we should have breakfast first.
Whew. It's a hot one.
It's definitely a hot one. We've had to pull all the guns out today and get the neck fans. So I'm going to give you a few facts about Monterosso. So as Leigh said, it's the only one of the 5 islands, which they call islands but are actually lands, that basically has a beach. Mainly because that's what attracts the families to this particular area, and it's the biggest and most popular. It's a crescent moon shaped town with lots of, so from the train station you go through an arch through the rock face to the old town, and in there's lots of winding streets, colourful houses. Some of the local foods that you'll try here as well is sort of lemon products and wine, and Monterosso is famous for having a lot of lemon trees.
So this town is the largest of the 5, and just talking about the other 4, look, you can see them from here. They go in, look, there's one there, and it goes in at each one, and there's one right down there. So this is where the 5 towns are.
There's one that's actually perched on the top of a cliff that has no access to the harbour. That's the next one, I think, is Vernazza.
Yeah,
Vernazza.
Just there. But we're going to head through this arch, as Nick said, and look for some breakfast. Here's the queue for the beach this morning. All these people waiting to pay for their umbrellas and lounges. So there's markets and things on, but a sign has just said, if you buy from abusive market sellers, you could be fined 50 euros. Yeah, I think it means knockoff. And the goods confiscated. So as Nick says, we believe abusive probably means knockoff. Right, so we've made it to the lovely back streets. Lots of shops, lots of market stalls. Of course, we're looking for breakfast because we haven't had any yet.
We wanted to stop at the first place we just came to.
It looked nice.
It
People
looked nice,
were having
actually.
coffees and orange juice. We're still not sure what coffee to ask for here to get a cafe au lait. So Nick said he's going to ask for a flat white.
I'm not. I'm going to ask for a Cafe Bianco, which is basically a white coffee.
We'll see if that works. Latte macchiato. That's what we've gone for today.
White coffee and flat white didn't work.
No.
Shouldn't have a clue.
No.
So we have to just pick something for a latte.
Gone for that and some fruit and yogurt and muesli. Very healthy of us this morning.
Not my favourite.
This is the inside of the store where we just had breakfast. It's got all sorts of gins, like local gins. Never seen Hendrick's Neptunia before. And tons of wine and all sorts of stuff. Loads of different Hendricks here. Neptunia, Grand Cabaret, Flora Adora, Normal, Cinque Terre wine.
I actually saw that on a YouTube vlog. They have a lot of wine from this area. But like I said, wine and lemon is their local product.
I've noticed in Italy they have these pharmacy machines.
France, you got pizza.
Yeah.
In Italy, you got condoms and KY.
It's quite good if you want to. Like, is that for spray?
Sprays.
I thought it was for like mosquitoes, but it's got sleep signs on it.
It's just the basic stuff.
Antiviral gel.
And you've got Intense Pure Fantasy.
Oh yeah. Well,
€26.
At least you can get them at 24/7. If you want a pleasure ring at any time of the day, you've got a machine for it.
So if you are keen on hiking, you can actually hike the 5 lands, the Cinque Terre. It's about €750 per day to be able to access the national park and walk from one town, the very top town, Monterosso, right down to the very last one, which I can't pronounce at the minute because I've forgotten what how you pronounce it. But you've got to be careful, because if you do pay for the pass, sometimes with winter erosion, some of the cliffs crumble and destroy part of the paths. So you've always got to check on the latest website to see whether the paths are open.
I'd rather get the train.
Me too.
That is my favourite thing about this town. The water, the absolute clear, crystal clear water. It's beautiful, and we're just going to head over there to see another famous site of this little town.
Right, so the next feature of Monterosso is the one that's just behind me, which is called the Giant of Neptune. It was a statue that was added here in 1910. It stands at 14 metres tall and weighs over 100 tonnes.
It looks like something out of Sinbad or those films like Jason and the Argonauts.
Like it's going to come to life and start chasing after a pirate ship.
With the Medusa in it?
Clash of the Titans. Clash of the Titans, yeah.
Although it's impressive, but I would expect it to be like gigantic.
I thought it was going to be the size of the cliffs, and it is quite big when you stood down here, but I was expecting, like on photos when you see it, I was expecting it to be the size of the mountain.
And Nick said, it was only built in 1910, so it's quite a recent addition. It would have been more impressive if it were from 1500s or something like that. And it just reminds you of like Zeus and gods and stuff like that.
It does have a Greek look, doesn't it?
Yeah. Right, we're going to our next land now, which is Vernazza, and we'll tell you more about that once we get there on the train.
So the 5 lands of Cinque Terre are actually part of the UNESCO protected properties.
So this has a very different feel coming out of the train station. You're straight into like the back streets with the shops and the cafes. Look at all the lemon things, like Nick said before. Everything's lemon here.
It's a lot less commercialised. The minute you walk out, you feel it's less commercialised than Monterosso.
It's more sort of oldie worldy Italian, isn't it?
Yeah. I fancy a gelato.
Already?
Yes.
Right, so before we enter the heart of the town, Nick will give you some information about this one.
So the word, it's actually, if you read it as it's written, a lot of people will pronounce it as Vernazza, and it's actually pronounced as Vernazza, and it comes from the Latin word verna and the local wine Vernazza. So it's a derivative of those two. There's no beach here; it's just a little harbour, if I'm correct. It also has a castle called Doria Castle, which has a medieval defensive structure.
And hopefully, there's a nice gelato place for Nick to have his second breakfast.
Yes, come on.
The streets are very narrow here, and to say that this is like the last one is supposed to be the busiest, this one feels a lot more crowded so far.
Yeah, well, the same crowds that's come from Monterosso are coming here and not being crammed into such a smaller area.
Beautiful blue waters again, and people in there. They've got like a cordoned off area so you can get in the water. Clock tower. What a beautiful little town. You can see people up there coming down on what I presume is the hiking trail. But you've got to have some determination to do the hike in the July heat. It's absolutely roasting hot today. Do we need to climb up there?
Is there a bar and restaurant on the top?
Where all those people are taking photos?
Where?
Up there. That tower.
Well, maybe. Maybe that's the castle, the Doria Castle.
Ah, let's go.
Definitely got to them.
From here you can see the first town where we just left of Monterosso. Over there. The name of this restaurant just reminded me, if you've seen the Disney film Luca, it is kind of based in these towns.
Monterosso. I think it was based on Monterosso.
Yeah.
I think in Luca, wasn't it called something like Pinkarossa?
I'm not sure. I've only seen a little
Disney's
bit of it.
Luca film was based on Cinque Terre. Right, so the entrance to get to the castle is just a little bit up the harbour where we were, and then up these steps At least it's in the shade.
A lot of steps.
We've only gone round corner and we're both panting. I can smell lavender, can you? Lavender and garlic.
I was gonna say it smells more like food to me.
I'm getting claustrophobic.
I need a lift. Oh, Jack, let's get out on this.
Christ almighty. We found a cafe, but I don't think it's open yet.
€2 entry.
What?
For the castle.
Is that what it says? I thought you meant restaurant. I'd have paid £5.
That looks like such a refreshing thing to do. Just because it's, I know, it's covered in water and surrounded by water, should I say. Wow, that was a steep climb up those steps. Look at the view of the town you get from up here. Beautiful.
Castle Dorilla.
Yeah.
What is that about the on the end? Dorilla.
Like
Doritos.
caramello.
No, well, yeah.
Sure you can do this, Nick? You sure?
There's people coming down the same way they're going up. I'm not sure I can.
Freaking hell, these steps are very short. That is not a nice climb up to the top. You've just got to not think about where you are and just get on with it.
The girl in front, she just stopped midway up and started taking photos.
Make you panic.
I just started going, and it made it worse because she moved.
It is worth it for the views though.
There's a fireman's pole that takes you down, isn't there?
Is there?
Down the centre. Well, it were a big pole that went down middle, just in case you had to panic and we had to take an emergency route.
I'm saying it's a Sunday now.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you can get down that. Look at all these people's laundry just dangling above the street. Now we're on the search for, what is it? Sparkling water, agua, some agua frizzante, something like that, and a gelato. Oh yes, some water and some cocoa gelato and chocolate gelato.
Caramello.
And Nick's got, what have you got?
I got cherry, which is amaretto.
One of the best things about Italy, the gelato, and especially the coconut gelato, which is cocoa.
How come you got 2 scoops?
I have 2 different flavours.
I should have gone for 2, I only got 1. And that's not super cherry, although there might be a bit more cherry when I try the fruit at the other side.
Try my cocoa.
Wait a minute. And then I've also got a lemonata, which is a sparkling lemon beverage. And Lee just got normal water.
So, it wouldn't be a Lodge Guys video if we didn't try something
From every village.
from each town. Two down, 3 to go, on to Corniglia next, and we're just stood in the train tunnel. We can feel the train coming, it's giving us like a blast of cool air, it's bliss. It's like we're in a wind tunnel. It's getting stronger, it must be getting closer. I could just stand here all day. Bloody hell, it's almost like a game now. Right, so we've made it to Corniglia. Now this one has how many steps?
Over 300 to get up to the top. It's
get
only
up to the
accessible
town.
as well either via boat or on foot. There's no cars in here. There is a bus service here, but that only doesn't take you to right to the very top. It's still got some walking, and there's a lot of people in the queue.
And we can see people walking up the steps far in the distance where we've got to go.
So the train brings you to almost at sea level, but the entire town is nested on the top of the cliffs. It's not actually classed as a coastal town because it's away from the coast and it's over 100 meters in the air. It actually dates back as well to Roman times. The name Corniglia was actually a derivative of a very prominent Roman family that lived here back in the day. They were also wine producers, and some of their wine has actually been traced back to places like Pompeii, which we hopefully will be visiting later on in this trip.
First of how many? 380?
320 something, I think it said. That's 4 done.
Ooh, a bit of shopping on your way up to pass the time. Somebody's house, halfway up the stairs. Wouldn't fancy going to a paper shop on a morning where all those stairs every day. Nice views halfway up, shall we just stop here?
Step 200.
Look at the vines there, in that person's house.
There's more to go than this gone.
And you can see the next town here, just there. I don't know what that one's called yet, I can't remember.
I don't have to walk there.
Bless you, Maria, for letting me get to the top of the stairs alive. A pharmacy at the top of the stairs. That doesn't surprise me. I wonder how old that building is. It looks ancient. So far, this is my least favourite of the towns. Just because you've got to walk up 385 steps.
Yeah, Google said 382, but I may have miscounted.
We're just coming to the local church at the top of the stairs.
It's weird because it's on a slope.
Yeah, it's on a slope, it like goes up a hill.
Right, so this church, I won't even try and pronounce it in Italian, but it basically translates to St. Peter's Church. It was built in 1334 and completed in 1351. It's an unusual confessional, this, because the priest is inside and
You kneel outside.
you kneel outside, so everybody outside
With your face through it. Well, yeah. So if you don't want to climb all the stairs, as Nick said, you can get the bus. And it does bring you right up to the top near the church.
Well, did Google Gemini said not accessible by car.
Well, you know these AI things.
Allow buses, because I have not seen another car around, so...
Oh, Cafe Matteo. Our scooter's got its own cafe. No, we haven't used them for ages.
Like not turn out on there.
Beautiful views. Back down, you can just see two towns which are left to go. Nick's had a good idea. We're going to share a pizza for lunch.
I didn't talk about sharing. Never mentioned sharing.
Well, pizza for lunch.
And wine tasting. Since we're not driving.
Well, water for me.
You can take some water.
Yes, I'm sweating so much water out of me, like 3 litres an hour.
Look at that, you can see Monterosso in the distance,
Yeah.
and you can also see where the Neptune is as well.
Yeah, where the
Right, you know what
Thing
time
is-
it is now?
what time is
To
it?
try the local cuisine of Corniglia.
Yes, pizza. Right, we found somewhere with a sea view back there. Nick's gone for his limoncello spritz. I've just had to try it. It's very refreshing, I must say.
I can't believe
Limoncello
I've never discovered that before.
with tonic water.
Yeah. So I didn't think I would say this, but this is my favourite land so far in Cinque Terre. Not the steps, I hated the steps, and if I'd have realised that the bus did actually get right into the centre rather than to the outskirts, we would have probably queued for that. And they'd possibly be getting it to get back.
Nah, getting down will be fine.
But the panoramic view that we've just seen was absolutely stunning, and I love all the alleyways and the different restaurants and the different gift shops that are just tucked away, and our food's here. Trying to go healthy today with lots of water, and now a
Wait a minute, you just had a gelato?
I know I had a gelato, but it was nice and creamy. I've got a tuna salad, which looks amazing. Beautiful. Now, I ain't coming to Italy now in a salad. I'm coming to Italy and having a bruschetta with mozzarella. It did actually come with anchovies, but I said just scrap them because I can't eat.
Yeah,
I can't
it does
eat
look good.
anchovies.
And they also...
Tried it looks like freshly crushed tomatoes and garlic on it.
like a little pizza, isn't it? It's delicious. My tuna salad is really good. I've covered it in balsamic vinegar as well. That was very good. I know we just said we were going to have pizza here, but we went to that bar because it looked like the best one, and it was the only place in this village that wasn't serving pizza. Typical. But I'm quite glad because I really enjoyed that tuna salad.
Yeah, my bruschetta was amazing.
Much better going down than up.
Rather not.
Down to the train station. Look at that, oh, where we climbed up.
It's like the Lombard Street in San Francisco, but
Yeah, it is.
But for steps.
Ah, we're gonna miss the train.
Don't care.
Run, run.
I'm running. On to our fourth land, Manarola.
Here we are in, what's this one called?
Manarola.
Manarola. I love all the it's all the washing out on the line.
You've got to do it somewhere, haven't you, when you live here? One of the best things about this place is it has no steps. You just get off the train station and walk a little bit under the subway, maybe 5 or 6 steps, and you come up onto this upper platform here and you see that shopping street below. The only hard thing we've got to do now is work out what local cuisine we're going to try. But before we do that, we're going to give you a few facts.
Go with the facts.
So one of the facts of this town was named after the Latin word Manarola, which actually meant big wheel, because the majority of the town was actually like wheel mills and things like that, which is where it got its name. So Manarola is the second smallest town in Cinque Terre and is actually one of the busiest places during the summer months. Luckily today it's not too busy, enough for us to navigate around. We just need to decide what we're having. Some lovely Australian ladies have just recommended a pasta place on the hill, which put us off when she said it's like 300 steps up.
I'm a bit stuffed for pasta.
Yeah.
You need to get a hat. Your head is glistening. Right, let's see what we are going to try in this town.
I would tell you the name of it, but there's no way I'm going to be able to pronounce it, but it's a dessert wine that's produced locally. A lot of the food in the region is wine and fishing. That seems to be like the predominant thing in the village.
Well, we should try it really. Chaquetra, that is the pronunciation of the wine. Chaquetra. Wow, look at the walk up to those restaurants and bars.
Oh my god. Oh, you can get in, there's like a pool below where you can swim. Oh my god, that looks so refreshing. Oh, I just want to go and get in.
Right, we have gone full Italian with an iced cafe latte, a cannoli, and Nick has got the Chaquetra drink.
We learned to pronounce it with Google Translate, thanks Google. I've just had a smell, I've not tried it yet, I'm going to try it now, but it smells a little bit like sherry, but this is supposed to be like a dessert wine,
yeah,
like sherry.
So it's actually come with some desserts.
Produced, and it comes with some little, well in France we'd call that like a café gourmand if you had that with the coffee. Yeah. And then we've got a cannoli, which cannolis that we're used to are from garden centres and taste of buttercream, but the last time we had one it was more like ricotta cheese and a bit of sweet. But before we try that, let's try this. Ooh, that's different. It's like a sherry, but it's got like the bitterness of a wine, but it's still sweet. It's really strange. You try it. Knock it back. It smells like vinegar. No, it doesn't. It smells like sherry, but it's got a tanginess of wine. It's nice. It's like a sweet red wine with a tang of vinegar.
Fig wine or something.
Fig wine? When have you had a fig wine?
It's strong. It's nice. It's okay. Just
can you taste the sherry, but you can also taste the wine as well. It's like a fortified wine, but not strong.
Yeah. So I asked for an iced coffee, and she said I can do a cafe latte and put some ice cubes in it. So it doesn't look particularly appetizing.
You've got exactly what you asked for.
Oh, it's nice. It's like a Joffrey's.
I want to try the cream cheese in it. Oh, it's very stiff in the middle. Right, I'm just going to shove it all in. Here we go. It's a little bit like buttercream, but you can really taste that orange peel in it. It's definitely a drink that you can drink a lot of. Well, it's not too sickly, and it grows on you.
Yeah, it does grow on you. Definitely have another taste, and it's
I
nice.
can taste red wine, but I can also taste sherry, which is a bit strange.
That little snack was very nice, so we're going back to the train station to head to our final town, which is called Riomaggiore. Is that what it's called?
I think so. I'm trying to get the pronunciation correct now.
Riomaggiore, the last of the 5 towns. The longest walking tunnel ever to get into town. And we've made it to the 5th town.
And what's it called?
Reggiano.
No.
Was it?
I can't remember, you put me off now.
Wait, are you finally going to get...
I'll have to just listen to it again now.
Are you finally going to get your feet in the water?
Yeah,
You've been going on about it all day.
I want to jump in the whole, like, full body. Right, it's called...
Riomaggiore.
Riomaggiore.
Right, so Riomaggiore, which I presume I pronounced wrong again, is actually famous for its usual. Well, a lot of the towns on this in the Cinque Terre are famous for their coloured houses. A lot of these houses were actually built really close together for protection from pirates and invaders. It's also took its name from a river that used to flow through the town and is now flows underground through the town out to sea. So if you are here for a few days and you want to sort of throw yourself into some of the things that they do here, you can take scuba diving lessons, you can have cooking classes, you can take boat rides to the other different towns and back again.
I'd do a cooking lesson.
Yeah, you need them as well.
As you can see, well, first of all, the pharmacist says it's 30 degrees on that side. And secondly, as you can see, all the towns have the same kind of feeling. The houses are all the same. Shutters, all this.
Capture, pizzeria.
Yeah. So I wouldn't say you need to visit all 5 to get the feeling of one of them, to be fair.
Our favourite was
Corniglia.
That was definitely had more of an original feel rather than a touristy feel. All the others have felt a little bit touristy.
Right, we found somewhere to sit down on the end of our 5 towns tour to do some people watching and drink a nice beer.
That's mine.
I say that beer is amazing. What is it? What is it? Down in one gulp. Do it, do it. It's a blonde beer, isn't it? Grain freeze.
It's a blonde draft.
It's very good. That was very nice, and that was, as I said, the last town on our little tour. So it is quite a lot to do in one day. I mean, we have done 17,229 steps so far.
We'll easily do 23,000 before we get back. We've got to walk to the train and then get the train journey and then walk back to the campsite.
Yeah.
So that's probably about 6,000.
So I'll just show you as we're walking back downtown. So it is quite a nice one, this one, but it's a little bit like there's not really like a centre that I can see on this one, is there?
No, it's just all the streets. A lot of them are like that though. Yeah. No focal point. But the best place of them all is Corniglia.
With the 385 steps.
Oh. Yeah, minus the steps. Monterosso, Lavanto.
And just 15 minutes later from getting on the train, we are back in Levanto, where we are parked with the camper van. So we got the express train back. We didn't plan that.
It only stopped at Monterosso.
Yeah, it was just a coincidence that we got that, and just took 15 minutes.
So when we were walking yesterday and this morning to the train station, we noticed this car park on the right hand side here that has all motorhomes in there. It's not on Park for Nights, I don't know why. It's not on Camper Contact, which is the apps that we've been using. And yesterday when we walked past, we priced up from the machine how much it would cost for the van to stay there. And we paid 46 a night for the campsite, which was 4 times more than what we would have paid in France for something of the same thing. The airs in France, the camping car park airs, were around 12, 13 euros. So it was 4 times more to stay in a campsite here than it would have been in France. This car park here was 66 euros for 2 days. We paid 92, and we get all the facilities. We get the shower, we get the hot water. So for the cost difference, the airs are cheaper, but you don't get anything. It's literally a car park with nothing in there. So we chose to go for the campsite. For the extra 20 odd euros, we get all our facilities. We get the electric. We don't have to use any of our water. We get to use the showers. But overall, Italy is literally almost 4 times more expensive than it is in France.
Calling off on the way back to the van just to get some fruit. Right, we are back at the van, and on the way back we called off for some fruit.
At a fruit shop?
Yes. So we're having lemon yoghurt on them. Oh, I'm having a coconut
Well,
one,
I
am
think we should have the yoghurt and the granola afterwards and just have this as...
No, 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 no. I want some...
It's not going to fit in the dish.
No, no, no. I need some granola and yoghurt with it.
Well, it's not going to fit in the dish.
And a cup of tea too.
You can't have a cup of tea.
Right.
We've had electricity problems.
Yes. We've been tripping.
The inverter's been kicking off and I've realised that the supply on site is extra sensitive. So I've used my...
expertise.
Well, I'm going to send the cable that I brought to limit the inverter's draw to 4 amps instead of 6.
So how do I get a cup of tea?
Boil kettle.
Well, yeah.
No,
what I
with
mean.
gas.
Oh, well, I ain't got a gas kettle.
We'll have to boil some water.
Welcome to the next morning. It's time for us to head off from this site.
And we're heading south, down into South Italy. So check out the next vlog to find out exactly where we're going.